प्रेम एक थोक भनेर आउँछ अनि सब थोक लिएर जान्छ। ब्रेकअप बारे पढेका, देखेका, सुनेका हरेक ससाना कुराहरू पनि साँच्चीकै हो कि जस्तो लाग्न थाल्दो रहेछ। अनि झन्झन तिनै कुराहरू आफूमाथि हाबी हुँदै जाने। म त भन्छु त्यो मौका आफूले आफूलाई नै हामी दिइने रहेछ। This is one of the most sensitive and temperamental part of me, as it is so close to me, and the fact of dealing with the consequences and aftermath of first ever breakup that I went through in my life. This started sometime early in 2016 after I went to Australia for my further study. I had a breakup with my girlfriend after a relationship of almost 3 years. So what happened to me was, piece of me was not being able to move on. I actually started having a problem when my ex-girlfriend moved on fast. She kind of departed and decided to go the other way. But here I was holding on to the incredible amount of pain, hurt and disappointment. And I'm continuing to convince myself that on some level she must have been the right person for me. I could not understand the fact that if she was the right person for me, then she definitely wouldn't have had left me. Also, part of me was very wrong about the mindset that I had of not letting things go. She must have had felt she deserved better, or maybe she could have found someone better guy than I was. So part of me started questioning myself. That wasn't I a good person? Wasn't I grown? Was I very unfair to the way I treated her? Wasn't I good enough? This kind of double-edged questions started hitting me in the middle of the night. I didn't know much about double-edged questions back in the school, you see. But now here it all started making sense for me. I was literally like, for almost 2 years or possibly more than that. It always came across my mind, that why she chose someone else over me. I kind of carried the same baggage of questions, doubt and grudges forward and forward. I was living my life on the same pace for a very long time, and just like when you're reading a book and reading the same page over and over again, you get into the depth of the content, but it becomes very difficult to again come back to the surface and see things in a very conventional manner. You see? And also you won't know what's on the next page of your own life if you're stuck onto the same page. I carried the same baggage of thought, pain, and grudges. I slept with the same feelings, I woke up with the same feelings, and went to work probably with the same feelings, and cannot deny the fact that the part of me even wanted to get into substance, so that I could get rid of all those thought process. So basically, from a male perspective, I tried every possible way to get rid of that particular thought and pain. Just to feel like I have moved on, I even become part of the multiple relationships. But that part of me was still there, and I strictly couldn't move on at all. I was simply adding, you see, the layers, different layers of being uncomfortable with yourself, being complex and very uneasy to myself. So the point is that you actually need to start taking care of things before it goes out of control. सधैँ अडिएर पछाडि फर्की हेरिराख्यो भने अगाडि बढ्न सकिन्छ त? सधैँ एउटै सोच, एउटै अनुभव, एउटै रफ्तार भइराख्यो भने अगाडि बढ्न सकिन्छ त? सायद त्यसको परिणाम पनि एउटै नै आउँछ सधैँ, दिनहुँ। सोचहरूको अनावश्यक खेलमथेल भइरहने। अनि मैले के रियलाइज गरेँ भन्दा नि, यो सबै सुरु हुने रहेछ हाम्रो आफ्नै थट प्रोसेसबाट। Thinking is absolutely fine, but too much thinking leads to overthinking, and which ultimately kind of results in procrastination. So if you are overthinking and your mind is racing, then of course you'll start to procrastinate. Your mind now becomes very overwhelmed and it really doesn't want to do anything more. It just wants to think more and probably feel very little. Another way that we end up procrastinating and overthinking in a cycle is that if our expectations are not realistic, just like mine, that I was thinking about my ex-girlfriend, that probably she could come back to my life, which was nowhere possible. So holding on to the same thought for a longer period of time and not being able to put that thing into work and worrying too much, here now becomes a habit. So that's why they have these quotes like, you should let things go, you should move on, let go. You don't move from the events, you cannot unfold the other layers in your life. So the greatest advice that one could ever receive is kill that ego. Kill your ego. Because that shit has no place in your growth. My priorities should have been different. Probably to study well, maybe to work well, maybe live a healthy life. So rather than worrying about what's my job and purpose in life, I chose the baggage of pain over the baggage of self-love and positive mindset. Nevertheless, you go through things and that's how you grow, right? So these all are the link or connection between your emotions, your emotions that you produce within. Emotions are the product of your past experiences. So the moment when you recall all those past events and problem, we start feeling unhappy and sad. We feel pain. And how we think and how we feel creates our state of being. And repetition of certain behavioral pattern becomes a subconscious program. So now your own memorized set of behavior, your own emotional reaction, your own conscious habit, your wired belief, perspective and attitude that functions like a computer program in your own body system. And then when a person with a very lower percentage of the conscious mind that I want to be healthy, I want to be happy, I want to be free, but understand this, here your body is already on a whole different program. It becomes very tough for you to begin to make those changes in your life. So now, if you have anxiety, if you have post-traumatic disorder, if you have depression, this is not something to ignore. Awareness is very important. What's your state of mind? What's your process of handling things? That's how you get to know your own mental health state. I want you to understand that we learn far more. We become far more stronger by what goes wrong in our life than what goes right. Because that's how you get to find a room in your life, and you want to stretch yourself up and up. So my problem was what I could not move on because I was simply concentrating on what's wrong than what's right.
एक तरफा प्यार की ताकत ही कुछ और होती है। औरों के रिश्तों की तरह ये दो लोगों में नहीं बढ़ती। सिर्फ मेरा हक है इस पे।